to maintain your hue. Well, how do you maintain your hue? Stop listening to the noise. Stop letting them tell you what you're going to listen to. Stop letting them feed you, spoon feeding you the low frequency noise. What does that mean? All right, today was a tough day, and let me just be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of shit going on with me, with the higher dimension and all the different bloodline stuff, and it's just a constant bombardment. It's like a constant test of your character. I don't know what it is that they're trying to obtain. They're not going to tell me, right? You're constantly left in the dark. There is no transparency, and they use your weaknesses or your fears and your desires against you. I mean, in the worst possible way. And I'm not even going to get into how bad it is, but let me just go ahead and tell you that today was the final straw for me, because I realized something in the midst of all of it. I was promised something, and then they took it away. They never delivered on it. They lied about it, right? And so yeah, even God's lie. That's right. Yeah, let that sink in. Why? I don't know. Probably I'm sure there's a good reason, but they won't tell you. They just want to be poised as the bad guy so that you don't think that this is benevolence. Like, oh, you're teaching me lessons. They want you to really feel the pain from it so that you can learn from it or something. I don't know. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. But so I was promised something today, and it never happened. It's actually, I was promised something 2 days ago, and then the next day it kept moving. The time kept moving, and it never happened, right? And so I'm chasing it, and that's what they do, is they dangle it like a carrot, right? And then you're chasing and you're chasing and you're chasing, and then finally you lose control because you're constantly trying to bite the hook. And so there's a point to this, right? Because no matter if it's the higher dimension, God's, other, your friends, your work, your girlfriend, your wife, your family, it doesn't matter who it is. There's always going to be somebody dangling a hook to try to get you to bite on it. And when you bite on it, you're giving them power, right? You're giving them the power. You're giving them the control over your life. So yeah, my life took a shit toll right after this wreck. The one that gave me acquired savant syndrome, which was destined, right? It was planned. So because I had to pay for my karmic debt, right? But here's where things can be different. Yeah, I had to change careers. Yeah, I couldn't make the money I used to make. Yeah, I didn't get the girl. Yeah, I stopped dating because it was like just so bad, because every date I got into turned to like some toxic nightmare. All because of, the girl that the goddess, the celestial being that was involved. She obviously had a problem with it, and I didn't even know she existed. So anyways, let me get back to reality, right? Let me get back to your reality. What does this all mean to you? So in the middle of them moving this and me raging and chasing it and constantly fighting them and arguing and being mad and setting my mood and lowering my hue, because it's all about your hue, right? What is your hue? That is like how bright and how much your frequency is shining, right? Because the more absolute your frequency is, the more godly you become. Now, if you're not divine, then yes, your frequency cut in half, but you can still purify your frequency back to baseline, right? Which makes you at least 50% of what you should be. Now, with divine bloodlines, then of course you can raise it up higher, right? So, anyways, the point is that the higher your frequency, the more clarity you have. The higher frequency, the more righteous you are, the more godly you are, the more godly the information is that comes to you. Like when you're in a situation, the universe gives you more information, a more gut feeling. It gives you all the knowledge that you need to use in order to get through the situation in the best possible way, because you're more godly, right? That's the point of having a purified frequency, of having, moving all the greed out of it, and all the bugs and everything, that all the bad decisions that all your family members in your past had made before you, that you had to pay for now because your frequency's been diminished all the way down to nothing. And so somebody's got to pay that debt to move it up. But what I'm getting at is this: instead of chasing this thing that they're dangling over and over and over again, I just said I'm done. Because I already paid my karmic debt, right? I've already graduated from the fucking shithole that they put me in for the last 10 years. I've already been through 4 months of hell with them. I don't owe them anything. And there's nobody's going to tell you that, hey, if you block out the greed and you cut out all the low frequency noise, you're wrong. No one's going to tell you that, because what they tell you is this: they want you to maintain your hue. Well, how do you maintain your hue? Stop listening to the noise. Stop letting them tell you what you're going to listen to. Stop letting them feed you, spoon feeding you the low frequency noise. What does that mean? Don't let people with greed dictate how you live. Don't let people you work with tell you how you live. If you don't like your job, leave. Yeah, so wait, you have debts. Who gives a fuck? Leave. Go find another job. Who cares if you can't get paid the same thing? Because here's what's going to happen. You're either going to sit in that job and be miserable your whole life and hate everything, and then that's it. Your life's gone. It's done. But yeah, you paid your bills. Woohoo! But you fucking suck. Your life sucks. And you know what? Because your life sucks, you suck. And because you suck, your girl's gonna leave you. And she's gonna cheat on some other guy who's a fucking giga chad, right? And then he's gonna leave you to go be with that guy, and then you're freaking all pissed off at the world, and you're gonna go end up with some girl that's worse, right? You know what? Fuck her. if she leaves, because she didn't see you for who you were in the first place, because you lost track of who you are. So the best thing you can do for yourself in this situation is this. Get rid of the friends that are freaking giving you low frequency noise, that are feeding you bad information all the time, that's in your ear feeding you all the bad shit that happened to them all day long. Cut them people out. I don't care if it's your family members. I don't care who they are. Cut them out. I don't care if it's your girlfriend, your wife. Cut her out. If it's your kids, educate them. Get rid of the low frequency noise in your life and live a better life, because here's the thing. You either choose or they choose for you. In every conversation, there's someone buying and selling, right? Either you're selling high frequency or they're selling low frequency and you're buying. Either they're buying or you're buying. You be the one that's selling and let them buy. And you choose to do high frequency. And if they want to sell low frequency, tell them to fucking hit the bricks, because you ain't buying. I'm not buying. I'm not buying, okay? You live your life. You get to choose what makes you happy and what brings you down. You get to choose where you lay. Am I going to lay in this low frequency maggot filled shit? Or am I going to rise up and fly and get out of this garbage and be higher than all this noise? Am I going to let this job leave me in the fucking gutters, drag me through the sewers? Or am I going to cut the noise out, go find another job that I'm passionate about, that's going to make me happy, regardless of what the pay is? Because I guarantee that if you do that, you're probably going to get paid what you want to get paid eventually. And that's going to be a much better life for you, because then you're going to be happy and you're going to be the gig chat. And then you're going to have the girl that you want, and she's going to be fucking all of you, because she's going to love you for who you are, because you stay true to yourself. And that's what it's about. Your kids are going to grow up respecting you and wanting to be just like you. And you know what? They're going to have amazing lives because they followed somebody who did what they needed to do to be happy. And that's the best thing that you could teach your kids. So don't let gods, higher beings, girlfriends, family members, work, people. Don't let these people hold you down. You choose how you live, or they'll choose for you. Yes, the higher dimensional beings are shit, and they're gonna fucking shit on you and feed off of your fear and your greed and your fucking ooh boo hoo all day long, because you don't mean shit until you show them that you do. They don't care. They will feed on you and feed on you and feed on you because you don't deserve what they're trying to give you. Don't ever believe anything that they tell you they're gonna give you, because it ain't gonna happen. They're never gonna fucking give you shit. You gotta fucking rise above them. Be better than him. Be better than him. That's what he's telling you. Don't be like him. Be better than God. That's what he wants. I know. I'm Seth, God's son. And God wants you to be better than him. I promise you. Don't be like, be better than him. Be better than all the higher dimensional beings. Don't let them hold you down, because they're going to feed on you. They're going to feed on your fear. Well, what does that mean? Because your emotions are something that they can't have. They can't have your time compressed emotions. They don't have loss like you do. Our emotions are so much higher than theirs. So they feed on that. Yeah, they're junkies. They're all junkies because you let them be that way. We're a greed-filled society. And the only way that's going to change is if we clean our acts up and stop letting them feed on us. So yeah, that's something that you have to think about, that you have to swallow, and that's a hard pill to swallow, and I get it. He's not the highest. There's higher than him. Don't be like him. Be higher. That's how I choose to live. And believe it or not, it doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't matter to me what you believe. What matters to me is what you choose to live. How you choose to live is what matters to me. Stop choosing to live in low frequency noise. Choose to be better. Whether it's a higher dimensional being, gods, goddesses, or if it's your next door neighbor or some stranger or whatever, choose to be higher. You're the one who's the angler. You cast the net. You cast the hook, and you let them bite. You be the seller. Let them be the buyer. You're selling high frequency noise. They're buying it. It makes them better. If they're not, if they're trying to sell to you and you're buying, then you're going to be in the low frequency noise. That's just the facts. That's life. That's how everything is. It doesn't matter. It casts into every relationship you have. And this is the problem that most people can't resolve throughout their whole life. It's the same problem dressed 30 different ways throughout your life, and it keeps coming back because you keep choosing the wrong way. Be better. Be the high frequency noise. Be better than God. That's the message I'm sending right now. Yes, there's a lot of shit going on with me. And yes, a lot of it is amazing, and I'll get into that. But I released the message about the divine, human potential, divine bloodlines and human potential. And that's great. Those are good things. They are. They're amazing things. But there's a lot of bullshit that goes with it. And so I'm going to give you this message first before I get into all that shit, because you need to live better than that. If you're going to go through what I went through, you're not ready. You're not ready. I'm going to tell you right now, they will break you, and they will eat you, and they'll spit you out. You're not going to hurt physically, but mentally, emotionally, they're going to eat you up and spit you out in a way that you've never been before. Because they have all the knowledge. They know all of it. They know all the psychological tricks. They know all of them. They are going to get you. Now, maybe I have a little bit of an advantage on most people, but they are going to eat you up and spit you out. I'm going to tell you right now. And that doesn't just mean them, like you're going to go through what I go through, because I'm different, right? I've got this calling. I'm not even spiritual. I've got this calling, and I have to fucking face it. It's my problem I have to deal with. But what I'm saying is the same shit that's going to cast into every facet of your life as a mortal to other mortals. It's all going to be the same thing. It's all going to be the same problem. So, I'm giving you a heads up. Be better than him. Be better than him. Be better than him. And that's how you rise above. That's how you take control of your life, because you're going to make the decision, and by making the decision, you get to be happy because you're in control again. It's all about control. This is DogGod. I'm out.